Welcome to the National Commission for the Certification of Crane Operators, Digger Derrick Practical Examination. If there is anything in this video that you do not understand, please request clarification from the examiner. The NCCCO Digger Derrick Practical Examination consists of 7 main tasks. There is also a pre-test briefing and a pre-test familiarization period. You must complete all phases of the test in sequence. Failure to do so will constitute self-disqualification. In order to retake the test, you will be required to re-register and pay the fees again. Prior to taking the exam, you will be informed of the make and model of the Digger Derrick, as well as the weight of the test weight. As you wait for your opportunity to test, you will be provided time to read the descriptions of the tasks you will need to perform and review the operator's manual and load charts for the Digger Derrick you will be operating. The Digger Derrick you will operate has been set up and leveled prior to testing. A spirit level is available if you wish to verify the Digger Derrick has been leveled properly. No part of the course has been placed at a radius that exceeds the Digger Derrick's rated capacity. The test site coordinator is responsible for setting the testing schedule for the day. Once you've completed all of your testing, you must leave the test area. The only personnel allowed in the test area are those who are actively involved in the administration of the practical exam. You are required to follow the practical examiner's instructions and signals at all times. The examiner has the authority to stop the test if you operate in an unsafe manner. Task 1. Pre-operational shift inspection. You will be evaluated on your ability to identify elements critical to a pre-operational shift inspection for a Digger Derrick. The practical examiner will ask you to describe how you would inspect 5 different areas related to the machine. You will have approximately 1 minute per item. Pre-operational familiarization period. You will be allowed 10 minutes to familiarize yourself with the Digger Derrick and to examine anything on it that you feel is necessary to operate it comfortably. You will be allowed to get the feel of the controls and are permitted to run the Digger Derrick through its functions, except for the auger. Do not interfere with the test course, attempt to lift the test weight, or shadow the corridor. You must finish the pre-test familiarization period with the boom tip centered over top of the chain assembly in preparation for Task 2. The examiner will notify you when there are 5 and 1 minutes remaining. If you are ready before the full 10 minutes has passed, you may indicate this to the examiner. If at the end of the pre-test familiarization period you feel you are not ready to take the exam, you should notify the examiner. You will have disqualified yourself from taking the exam at this time, and you will be required to sign to that effect on the candidate score sheet. If you are using a remote control, at no time during the familiarization period or test should you walk into any part of the course or walk underneath the test weight or boom. Walking underneath the test weight is considered an unsafe act, and the examiner is required to stop the test. Task 2. Chain in circle. Optimum time, 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the examiner's indication to start, at which point timing will begin, lift the chain out of designated area 1 and place it on the ground inside designated area 2. Timing will end once the chain is under control inside the designated area and you receive the stop signal from the examiner. Points will be deducted for the following: dragging or contact of the chain outside the circle, hook touching the ground, hook or chain contacting any part of the course or truck, lifting the chain off the ground after initial ground contact inside the circle, exceeding optimum time. Task 3. Follow hand signals. This task is not timed. You will be asked to follow 4 OSHA standard hand signals given by the examiner. Task 4. Negotiate corridor. This task is divided into 2 separate tasks, 4A and 4B. The optimum time for each task is 4 minutes. Task 4A requires you to negotiate the corridor in a forward direction. Task 4B requires you to negotiate the corridor in a reverse direction. At the examiner's indication to start, at which point timing will begin, lift the test weight from designated area 3 and guide it through the corridor. Avoid touching or knocking over any part of the PVC barriers, touching the ground with the test weight, or raising it so high that the chain leaves the ground. Place the test weight completely inside designated area 2. Timing will end once the test weight has been placed fully inside the designated area and the examiner has given you the stop signal. At the examiner's indication to start, at which point timing will begin, lift the test weight from designated area 2 and guide it back through the corridor in a reverse direction. Again, as you guide the test weight, avoid touching or knocking over any part of the PVC barriers, touching the ground with the test weight, or raising it so high that the chain leaves the ground. Place the test weight completely inside designated area 3. Timing will end once the test weight has been placed fully inside the designated area and the examiner has given you the stop signal. Points will be deducted for the following: knocking the ball off a pole, moving a pole base off the line, knocking a pole over, test weight touching the truck or ground, lifting the chain off the ground, passing poles with the chain off the ground. Circumventing the course. Exceeding optimum time. Task 5. Augering a hole. This task is divided into 3 separate tasks: 5A, unstowing the auger, 5B, augering a hole, and 5C, stowing the auger. You will have a maximum time of 5 minutes to accomplish each of these separate tasks. Task 5A, Unstowing the Auger. At the examiner's indication to start, properly unstow the auger and place it on the ground in preparation to dig a hole. When you have completed this task, you may indicate this to the examiner. Points will be deducted for the following: unstowing at less than a 45-degree angle, leaving the boom fully extended or retracted, auger contacting the ground out of plumb, leaving the storage bracket with the boom extended, unstowing at high speed, shock loading the auger strap. Task 5B, Augering a hole. At the examiner's indication to start, auger a hole where the examiner has indicated. Continue augering until all of the flights have been completely buried and the examiner has given you the stop signal. Points will be deducted for the following: outrigger being lifted off the ground, corkscrewing the auger, Task 5C, Stowing the Auger. At the examiner's indication to start, properly stow the auger. When ready, signal the proctor to assist in connecting the auger strap to the pin. When you have completed this task, you may indicate this to the examiner. Points will be deducted for the following: auger off the ground for strap attachment, stowing at less than a 45-degree angle, auger not resting on the latch, entering the storage bracket with the boom extended, improper wind-up procedure, stowing at high speed, shock loading the auger strap, overwrapping, Task 6, Lifting and placing the utility pole. This task is divided up into two separate tasks: 6A, picking up the utility pole, and 6B, placing the utility pole. Task 6A, picking up the utility pole. You will have a maximum of 10 minutes to complete this task. At the examiner's indication to start, lift the utility pole from its position and secure it with the pole guides. When the pole is near vertical, you may request the examiner help you in the final placement of the pole inside the guides. When the utility pole is safely secured within the pole guides, the examiner will give you the stop signal. Points will be deducted for the following: raising the utility pole higher than 3 feet, pole guides supporting the weight of the utility pole, dragging the utility pole outside of the designated area, utility pole contacting any part of designated area 5. Task 6B, placing the utility pole. Optimum time, 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the examiner's indication to start, bring the utility pole over to designated area 5 and lower it inside the designated area until the base of the utility pole is below the top of the 12-inch PVC poles. When the utility pole has been lowered below this point, the examiner will give you the stop signal. Points will be deducted for the following: the utility pole touching the ground or a PVC pole base, raising the utility pole higher than 3 feet, pole guides supporting the weight of the utility pole, knocking a tennis ball off a PVC pole or knocking a PVC pole over, utility pole lowered out of the guides, exceeding optimum time. Task 7. Stowing the Boom. You will have a maximum of 5 minutes to complete this task. At the examiner's indication to start, properly stow the Digger Derrick's boom in the cradle. The examiner will give you the stop signal once the boom has been stowed. Be sure to apply all necessary safe shutdown procedures prior to leaving the operator station. Points will be deducted for the following: boom not fully retracted, load line not fully retracted, boom left outside of the cradle. Please do not ask the examiner to review your score sheet or discuss your performance on the exam, since they are not permitted to do so. Your results will be sent to you within 12 business days after receiving your score sheet. If you have completed all of your tests, you must leave the test site. Otherwise, you should return to the pre-test briefing area. Thank you for participating in the NCCCO Digger Derrick Operator Certification Program.